You are watching a Fact TV presentation of the town of Swanzey.
Pledge allegiance. Jay, you want to do this?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I move that we approve the minutes of the regular meetings of May 20th, May 28th, May 29th, and June 2nd.
Second.
Any discussion?
It looked good to me.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I move that we approve the minutes of the non-public sessions from May 28th and June 1st and 2nd, and June 2nd, oh, May 28th, 1 and 2, and for June 2nd, those 3 non-public sessions.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it. Yes.
All in favor?
I got a question on the Jimmy's Hometown Pizzeria. What's that one all about?
Good question.
No description, just Jimmy's Hometown Pizza, Jim Tempesta.
It's free pizza, I think.
Oh, is it? What is that, the 27th or
Yeah.
something of June? Okay, all right, great.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Public input. Joe?
Good evening.
Hello.
Just coming in for an update on the roads. Get some good news this time around. So we've been finishing up some projects. As most of you probably aware, we finished up West Street. That was a capital improvement funded project. We finished up West Street, which consisted of 6 new catch basins, removing the sidewalk that was in poor repair anyways, but paving the road wider. The white fog line just got painted the other night. So we put a white fog line down there, kind of designating a sidewalk area. But the good news with that project, CIP initially had slated $200,000 to complete it because there was some thought there was going to need some engineering, some more sidewalk work. We took a lot of we didn't do any engineering, we took a lot of the work and did it ourselves. So we saved a significant amount of money there. The second one is Sugar Hill, that we're almost complete. It's been reclaimed, base coat paving. It needs about 300 ton of top coat, but we're holding off on that for now. That is coming in about half of what the estimated cost was. That's due in part to, if you remember, I don't know if you were here then, Alan and Jay, for that meeting, but early on, or late last winter, Allstate Paving offered to hold their contract prices from last year at $95 a ton, which is incredibly low. So there was a big savings there. But to make a long story short, we have about a $200,000 surplus in CIP funds. I've already talked to the chair of the CIP committee about it, and my idea is that we'll move forward and do more work on Marcy Hill this year. Marcy Hill is slated for next year. We have the money, we have the time. My intention is to do as much as I can with the money we have, and then CIP will be adjusted according to what we get done this year. So that would be my recommendation. I have to go up there and do an inventory of what culverts need to be changed out. Marcy Hill is the next on the list, as I indicated. It's in pretty poor repair, so I'm going to recommend to the board that we do that, we move forward and complete that this year. The other change I'm going to be making, and this is more just of an FYI, we're almost done with all the work up on Parkinsbury, the preparation work on Parkinsbury. We changed out about 12 culverts, cut a bunch of brush, did some drainage improvements. 2 of the culverts up there are almost 20 feet deep, and they're going to settle, as I indicated to some of you before. I don't feel comfortable top coating the pavement up there this year because those culverts are going to settle through a freeze-thaw cycle. So my intention is going to be, we're going to shim it. People are going to think it's paved because when they go in with a shim, it's basically reestablishing the crown of the road, and then they put the top coat on. So I'm going to have them go in and shim this year and hold off on the top coat. The top coat's approximately $90,000. Next year, and Partridgeberry comes out of the operating budget, not out of CIP. The next year, Troy Hill was slated to be paved. That's approximately $90,000. So what I'm going to do with the operating budget is I'm going to switch the top coat from Partridge Ferry to next year, and we're gonna do Troy Hill this year. So those are big changes. What I need from the board is the approval to move forward with the additional CIP work up on Marcy Hill Road.
Joe, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Going back to the Sugar Hill, you mean we haven't started that?
On Sugar Hill is, so there's a real bad, the majority of Sugar Hill was real broken up and couldn't be salvaged, so we reclaimed that and go in and grind it all up.
That's done.
Regrade it and base coat it. Now it's ready for top coat, but I had them hold off, because when I realized we were gonna have a surplus after completing West Street, I told them to hold off on top coat, because you'll eliminate an extra mobilization. They'll come back in towards the end of the year and whatever I have funds left will spend.
So the surplus came from West Street?
West and.
Came in half and Sugar Hill?
Yeah, and the
Oh,
surplus,
so both of them added together, we gained 200,000? From West Street and Sugar Hill?
yeah, a combination of us doing the majority of the work on West Street, and then the change of not putting holding last year's $95 a ton, carrying that forward to this year.
So what was Marcy Hill estimate to do Marcy Hill?
There's $450,000 slated in there for next year.
So you're gonna take the 200 and start Marcy Hill? You'll never finish it with the two?
No.
But you're gonna get it
the
rolling
roads,
this
yeah.
year and spend that money?
Yes.
But then, the following year, the slated money that we had for Marcy Hill, what happens there?
We'll finish Marcy Hill, and then through CIP, we'll make adjustments to other roads that are coming down the line. So basically, it's not, we're getting more done for what we estimated.
Got it.
It's just gonna speed up the process of getting some of these roads fixed. And the people up in Marcy Hill will be quite happy to hear that. They've been quite vocal about it up there.
Joe, the one comment that, I mean, we were thinking maybe we want to leave some money on the table in case we run into extra expenses over the next month or so as we do our hunting for the town administrator. That idea was floated. And I don't know if that's, I mean, what you're proposing is great, but whether we want to try to capture a little bit of extra money to try to make the transition work.
The one thing I can caution you is that $95 a ton that we're putting out this year could easily turn into $125 or $130 next year with fuel prices.
That's a good point.
But I'm just throwing that out there. Operating budget wise, I think I'm still gonna be in good shape and maybe have a little bit of a surplus there. But I would, like I said, recommend to the board with this, I understand what you're saying, but with the CIP funds, I would encourage you to move forward with it. We put Marcy Hill off so many times that if we have the opportunity to get it back on schedule or closer to back on schedule, it would go a long way with the taxpayers.
I agree, that's great news. Good job, thank you.
Can I ask on West Street, are you going to paint the sidewalks so that it's clear that your sidewalks?
So I can't call it a sidewalk. I can put up a pedestrian sign, but I was told I can't call it a sidewalk unless a designated lane unless I have it on the other side of the road. So it's going to be the fog line and a pedestrian sign. And the white line is the designated, it's common to keep traffic off that lane.
And was the sidewalk committee ever?
Yes, I talked to the chair of the sidewalk committee. So the sidewalk committee, though, they're there for guidance, and it's not their road, it's the town's road, it's the town's jurisdiction. There was significant drainage problems, you lived there, there were significant drainage problems on that road. The sidewalk was creating a dam, it was in really poor condition. I talked to the chair of the sidewalk, I didn't ask for permission, I talked to the chair to let them know, but I think there's some misconception that the sidewalk committee thinks they can just say, no, you can't do that, which that wasn't the case.
No, I was just thinking.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to clear that on that, but yeah, that was thrown out there. I mean, to redo that sidewalk, you're talking another, and how much it gets used, you're talking another $70,000, $60,000. So that was why that decision was made, and the project has come out incredible. There's plenty of room for people to walk. It's a slow-speed road. It's a straight section of road. As you can see, the fog line was just painted. They need to come back in and do the taper that they do by hand, and I see they missed that. But overall, no puddles, no drainage issues, and I can't thank the property owners. I believe it was your brother. Property owners, her brother, and Lesser Landscape for giving me formal easements to discharge water onto their land, because it wouldn't have happened without that.
Joe, do you have any kind of timeline? Are you gonna go on Marcy Hill right away? You're doing Troy Hill first? What are you doing?
Next week, I'm trying to get a culvert, there's a big culvert on Troy Hill, I'm trying to find one. Next week, we'll do the culvert on Troy Hill. We'll be done with,
Sugar Hill?
Partridgeberry. Then we'll go up and do an inventory of what culverts need to be changed out. Some of the culverts have already been changed. It's the old metal ones that when you're redoing a road, you get rid of them because they rot out and collapse. But I could see.
Are they replaced with plastic ones?
Yeah, it's HDPE plastic. I would estimate that end of June, beginning of July, get up there.
So let me see if I can capture what you need here, Joe. I move that we accept Joe's recommendation to apply the excess CIP funds to Marcy Hill.
Second.
Any discussion? Or more discussion? All in favor?
Aye. I figure you don't need the Troy Hill Partridgeberry stuff because that's just internal.
Operating budget,
Yeah.
yeah, and it doesn't change anything. I'm just giving it to the board as an FYI. I think it's the best course of action. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up to the board, I just was contacted yesterday by Eversource about some incentives on LED lightings for municipal buildings. And they are given a 50% increase on the bonus of incentives. And per light fixture, $150 per light fixture, they're given to transition over to LED. Costs nothing to do an audit of the buildings, so my intention is to have them do Town Hall, Whitcomb Hall, and possibly Stratton Library.
You can have them do the audits and then we'll see.
See, yeah, what it's gonna cost, but I can't, like, $150 a fixture, especially for Town Hall, maybe not here. Some of these are pretty fancy, but Town Hall, that could easily cover swapping lights out. I need to learn more about it, but I just wanted to make the board know that I'm gonna move forward with that.
Yeah, might be a wash to do it.
Yeah, or close to it.
Great.
That's all I have.
Could you give us an update on the cameras for the
Yes,
bridge?
Alan started preparing the box down here to put the cameras in the other day, and 2 to 3 weeks, depending on when he gets the stuff in. He's here and ready to go forward.
Okay, and our service wasn't disrupted?
No,
Everything was-
no, I gotta wait to hear from Fidium about the new connection for down here.
Great. Thanks for jumping on that.
Very good. And Joe's getting us some few more signs for the problem we have with the parking down at the town hall. Me and Laurie met with Jeremy, and he was very cooperative. He's gonna send emails out and letters. He was very nice. But Joe was even mentioning, in the future, those few trees that are down below there, you could take those out, and we have some material that we can make some parking down there if they would cooperate. He could probably do it for around $5,000 and make some parking down there, but I don't know if the school would be interested in something like that, just to get rid of this problem we have. Joe just threw it out there at me. I thought I'd let you know there's a possibility there. But
Weren't we going to meet with this superintendent?
we did,
and
me
talk
and
about-
Laurie.
Oh, you did?
And we did the best we could as far as letters going out and Joe signage. There's really nothing else you can do but notify people not to park there. And the only other alternative is if we increase the parking area down there, and I don't know what it would entail to do that, whose property it is, but Joe's gonna put together a little sketch for me. He's gonna look at the tax map and see where everything is, and he's gonna just give it to me. I asked him to take a look at it, just as an option. I'm not saying we're doing it, but it's an option. You can show the Jeremy, and we'll see where it goes.
Sure.
There looked to be enough room there. I don't know where the property boundary is, but it looked to be enough room there to build a parking lot, kind of like similar to what we did here. For those of you who don't remember, that was just all trees out there. The land was donated to DPW. We used a paving contractor. Obviously, that one wouldn't pave. We used a paving contractor, but we basically cleared that off and built it for essentially no cost with materials we have in stock. We could do the same thing over there. It's just, I don't know where the property boundaries are.
It's a great idea, I agree, and you wouldn't even have to take out that many trees.
No, and it's a reasonable cost, so Joe's gonna put his little sketch together, and if it don't go nowhere, don't go nowhere, but it's an option. You know, we could give that, told that by Jeremy, and you never know.
Yep.
But it could solve a problem.
Or at least look like we're making an attempt to solve the problem,
Correct.
which is very good too.
But we won't know much until Joe sees where the lines are and everything like that. See if it's even possible, but he's gonna look into it for me.
Well, but it's also something we can work with the school board on,
Yep.
if it's school property.
That's true.
And Joe's already worked with them with regard to the paving, so he's establishing a good relationship with Jeremy and the facilities people there, so you got good dialogue going.
How's their paving project going in terms of?
Don't know, I don't know about that. I met with them recently about our sidewalk extension on Swears Crossing Road. They're very supportive of it. Where the sidewalk ends right now in front of the SAU building, we're gonna go onto their property more so it doesn't bother their parking, and it's gonna come across the front of their building and then jet back out. They were very supportive of that. But I'm not sure where they're at with their project.
Is there anything we should know about the fire department? You paved?
They're gonna finish paving that. They're gonna do Cedar Street and the fire station on Monday. They got rained out Friday. They didn't finish top coat in the second parking lot. You can't, once it gets wet, you can't pave on top of it. They don't adhere to each other once they get wet, or there's potential for problems. But they're gonna move back and they're gonna do Cedar Street in the morning. When traffic dies down on 32, they'll go and finish the fire station. Tuesday morning, Mike Burke, myself, Mark, our inspector, we're going to do a walkthrough. Coming together, the kitchen was installed there the other day, and just some odds and ends here and there.
Getting close.
Real close, yeah.
It's nice.
Are they able to come together with the additional estimates that we
I
need?
sent another email to Cody today and to get because Lori was asking for it, the whole cost of the generator, that's into one lump line item with the electrical stuff, so I sent him an email today, I gotta follow up with him. But if he could give us a letter explaining the total cost of the generator and the process of the quotes he got before he did so.
Perfect.
So yeah, things should be wrapping up down there relatively quickly. So they were doing the kitchen while I was in there. I haven't been back to see how it came out, but looked good.
It's exciting, it's almost here.
It's a really nice looking building.
They've done a beautiful
It's a
job.
great looking building.
We should be proud of it. It's beautiful.
We are.
We are.
Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. That's all I have.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much. Great job as usual, Joe.
Thank you.
New business, discussion of organization of an EMS research committee.
I move that the Board of Selectmen establish an EMS Services Subcommittee consisting of, at this point, an unknown number of members to research and evaluate options for the future delivery of emergency medical services in the town of Swansea and report its findings and recommendations to the Board of Selectmen. So that's the motion. If somebody seconds it, we can discuss it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do
We want to discuss first.
do we have a time frame or?
I'd like to know when we have to have a decision on,
The contract, I think
contract.
we put the RFP out for the emergency medical services for 3 years, I believe. So it'd be 3 years from July.
But the contract that we currently have that's been proposed was 2 years. Did that get adjusted to 3?
Yeah, it was all in whatever you
I'm not
guys.
saying the RFP, the proposal that we received was, the current one that we received that we know of.
Oh, that was before we put out the RFP though?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so
But
they
I thought we
have,
decided that we wanted to keep it
they've
to.
resubmitted the due to the RFP that the board wanted to put out, and the RFP said 3 years.
Right.
and they resubmitted their proposal to us?
Yes.
Okay,
I haven't opened it,
Okay.
because the date is June 10th, I believe.
okay. So, obviously, that's something we need to look at, and we need to have a decision by the end of the month, is basically what.
Yeah, before, I mean, when you're opening the proposals that are submitted, and whoever you go into an agreement with, you would determine that there. The RFP did say 3 years, but you obviously can change that.
So the question is, this committee is
I'm
going to,
confused, because I thought this committee was about the future.
Yes.
I didn't think we were questioning.
it's not for this contract.
Yes.
Okay, that's
I
what I
just-
need.
So we have time.
I think we're,
We have
It's
like 2
just
years.
to research the
research the
options.
options in the future, because really, it's too close now. I think we're.
We're kind of locked in.
Yeah, we're kind of locked in now.
So-
For this year, we budgeted, we did all that, right?
Yes. Yep.
But I love the idea of putting a group together for the
Yeah.
future, for when this contract's up.
So my only question then, Jim, is do we then want a 2-year proposal instead of a 3-year proposal if we're going to look at possible options? Or do we want to lock in 3 years because we figure the expenses are just going to go
Well,
up
I got
every
the
year?
sense that the board, when we discussed that we started to mention the lottery to change it, but then we got the sense of maybe it's better off if we just have it 2 and leave it alone. Just don't say anything and see if they come back after they see her posting, do they change the final one on their own? Or we don't say nothing, because I'm pretty sure that's what we decided. Because personally, I think it would be in our best interest to go the 2.
And that can all be negotiated when you do that.
But on the other hand, if you read the contract, we can bail out of that with a 90-day notice anyway, so I don't know.
It doesn't make much difference.
That's right, don't make much
3 years,
difference.
you lock in a certain price, so a certain price.
That's true too, Jay.
So-
The money could be a factor there, but do we lock in that contract for the same price for the 3 years?
Well, no, because they say they can
They
change
can
it.
change
At
it.
any time, right?
It's a negotiation.
Yes.
Okay, so
And I didn't know how many members. the
do we
board
want to
would
discuss how many members we'd like to have on this committee?
I think you kind of have to, looking at it as a potential member, define the timing, because if it's 3 years out, it would be pretty challenging for me to get on a committee and know that I'm looking at 2.5 years before there's going to be any resolution to the committee, or it just gets defined to the point that we're just confining to research and not necessarily options.
Yeah, but we're also forgetting, Billy, that doesn't necessarily mean that, because we can bail out of our contract with a 90-day notice, so we might not have to wait the 3 years. So that option's there if a committee comes up with a good plan.
If they come up in time for town meeting.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So if we establish a committee now, and they come up with something by next town meeting, that's a possibility, but they might not, but we can ask them if they could, but
See, my thoughts about a committee like this would probably meet once a month or something like that. I don't see a committee meeting, 3 times a month or something like that.
I agree.
And I see it being a very slow-working committee, nothing that's going to be, that's how I visioned it, because there's a lot to do. I'm looking at a committee that would probably say, okay, who's going to go research this and regionalize it or whatever, right? But, I don't know. Phil brought up a good point. It's a long way out to be enthused to be on a committee and be excited to get something done when you're looking at 3 years.
If we gave it a year, then it would be July or August of next year, which would put us in position for town meeting for '28.
right. I think realistically, we're looking at town meeting 28 if we're going to make any changes.
Correct.
So should that be part of this motion? Should it be, and again, how many members? Up to a certain number of members, or we set an upper limit on it?
When you said going back to how many members, I would think we would do it like the governance committee, right? Because something like that seems to me that it would start big and it would dwindle down. So I would start a little higher and let it dwindle down instead of starting low and then dwindle down and disappearing. This way it won't disappear, because if we start low, it could disappear very quickly. Look at the governance committee. You had, 20, and it went down to 10, really, that did the job? Am I right?
I think you're about right.
And same with the fire.
So
Same
I
with
think
fire,
something like that
yeah,
committee should start
Yep.
on the higher side.
I think the way we did those two committees, we started with the higher side simply by opening it up to anybody who's interested.
There you go.
And therefore, anybody who's interested got on the committee, and they voted with their feet
Got it?
to stay on or not.
Smart.
Do we want to give the motion a charge that they'll be ready to report to us by town meeting? Did you say 27 or 28?
No, by July 27, so that we can be ready for the 28th.
So do we want to put that charge in the motion?
That's my question. That's the other question I had. Is it necessary? Because once the committee's established, they would meet with us and we give them a charge. So right now, we're just establishing the committee of an unknown number of members to research and evaluate options for future delivery of emergency medical services. So what that would mean is we'd make an announcement and the people apply to be on that committee. Right?
I'd be open to that.
Do we assign one of the fire guys to it?
I think one of them has to be.
Huh?
I think one of them has to be.
Perhaps someone from the
But
police
is
force
that
as
something that the
well?
board might want to say, we need one of you guys to step up and
I would
get
think
it
so,
going?
Yeah.
They should be anxious about this because there's a lot of, this is one of their things, should be their game. I think, in a way, we should kind of put it in their lap to get it moving.
I move that the Board of Selectmen establish an EMS Services Committee consisting of ex-members, including at least one member from the fire department, to research and evaluate options for the future delivery of emergency medical services in the town of Swansea and report its findings and recommendations to the Board of Selectmen.
Aye.
Aye.
By July
By July
2027.
2027.
Second.
You're asking me?
I'm asking
Sure.
somebody.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Update on Aldrich Road.
Lord can do that, I think.
Yep, I did get an email from the chief confirming that the name change, I'm sorry, my laptop wasn't working, so I don't have it with me, but they did, E911, the state did okay the name change that he has, and I can get it to you. We just have to post for a public hearing on that, so I can get that scheduled. Be able to move forward with that, notify the abutters, and have the hearing.
Do we have the time needed for the 17th, or are we looking at July?
I believe the 17th should work, as long as we can get the abutters notices out by Wednesday. Maybe we better put it to the July 1. Yeah, just because of the workload right now at Town Hall, so.
And the proposed name is Coolidge, and then we could decide whether it's Coolidge Lane, Avenue, or Street.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jay.
So what is the date?
We'll schedule it for July 1st.
Okay.
It's a regular town select board meeting anyway.
Yep.
How did we come by the name Coolidge, just out of curiosity?
I think the
resident.
The resident recommended it, and then he went through and double checked to make sure it would be all right.
And there was a,
I can't think of a Coolidge key.
no, he looked into that, he checked it with 911 to make sure that it was okay. And there was some, that the Snides are going to help with notifying you what the abutters would be.
Yeah, we just have to, by statute, I believe, send them certified mail.
Yep.
That is an old road, Aldrich. It was being used in the 1700s.
Not by me.
Now, that used to be the main road.
So you say.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Too bad it got discontinued in the middle.
I move to approve the slate of elderly and disabled tax deferral applications, which we've seen.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. I move to accept the slate of abatement recommendations from the town's contracted assessor, Bernache Consultants.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Old business?
What is it?
Old business?
I'd like to just bring up something. We talked about Ken that just passed the thing. Did we take care of the park? Do we need to make some movement since now especially?
Yeah.
And are we gonna do something or anything? How does that go? I don't know.
We've got to come up with the full name, so we should agree on that, and then get estimates for the sign. And I do have estimates for an estimate for the granite posts,
Yeah,
and the potential for the sign.
yeah, we're gonna name that little park after him, right? And I thought we voted on that. We did. So where did it stop? Where did we drop? What's the next step?
Funding,
Funding,
about $4,000.
$4,000. So, well, we voted, so we gotta follow through with it. So we gotta figure it, all right? Okay, so how do we leave off with that? What do we do? What's next? Who finds the money?
We have a new employee coming.
So we'll wait. So it's on hold?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is that I just wanted to bring up, so we don't forget, Chris did a lot of work on, our code officer on that new system. And I just want everybody to be aware of that. It's going on, it's already up and running,
Yeah,
right?
it's online now. Chris is on vacation, but he's hoping to
Right.
schedule a, I guess not webinar, but in-person session, so the developers or building folks can come in and learn how to navigate the system,
Yeah.
but it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yourself?
I have not. I've just seen on the website, like I've looked at the applications and the process of what you need to do.
Yeah. But Mark, why don't you tell them
He
about
explained it
some
to
of
me
the
again.
features?
So it's gonna be, so the police department can also log into it, so if they see something that's some kind of violation of town code or whatever, they can inform him. So if he's looking at something already, so they'll all have access to it. He's gonna try and see if the Humane Society can also log into it, because animals tend to be. So he's getting all these people involved so everybody can see it, and so it comes in handy so that when, a lot of the times, in order to go on these people's property, they have to get an administrative warrant, and you need probable cause to do that. So in order to go to a judge, he wants to make sure everything's, all his ducks are in a row, so to speak, so that he can get this done.
Makes a lot of sense. He's got every town property in there, in the database?
Well, it'll be, so if there's something
Yes.
wrong,
We're working on getting that squared away.
so if there's a
for the
property
name
that
changes.
is a problem, it'll be entered into the system, and then those people will be allowed to go in there and
Okay.
make notes and everything, to keep documentation of everything that's going on.
So we gradually build
Right.
the database out with properties that,
And Jay, what I think one of the most important features is, what I've been pressing for years, is going to some of these properties that are completely, really bad. And the problem we have is when you go to court, you have to dot your i's and cross your t's, and the system is gonna have everything. So when we go, which I'm gonna push the board to, we take some of these and we follow through with them to set a statement that we are gonna come out as winners this time. We're not gonna forget nothing, and this will make sure we go in with our guns loaded so we come out a winner, we just don't throw money and come out losing. And what I understand from the past, before I've been the selectman, we don't do that here because it's just so difficult. Laurie's told me she's fought in cases like this, and it's hard to beat them, right? Bill's informed me, Jimmy, it's like shoveling against the tide, it's hard. So we're trying to get it so some of these real bad ones, we win, and it gets out there that we are being more stern on people's property. And I think this system is gonna help us get through that. And that's the one thing I'm excited about on it too. But as Laurie said, I suggested to Chris that he has an open house, and all the contractors that are gonna use it and stuff, give them the opportunity to teach them how to use it for our main contractors that we deal with all the time. And I just think it'd be great. And I think I'm gonna actually sit on it, I'm just to listen in, and, because I think it's a great added to our town hall, right, Laurie? Yeah.
Definitely much more efficient too. There's just a few internal things that we need to make sure that the permitting software is talking to it doesn't necessarily talk to our assessing database, so we just want to make sure that we're carrying all those new permits over into the assessing so that they're going to get taxed for it. So We're just working on those internal processes there, but
And there is a software workaround for that.
maybe not a software workaround, but a human workaround for
Okay,
that.
so someone's gonna have to sit there and copy and paste?
You can pull record, run a report from that system and then just have the staff member enter it into the assessing
Assessing
database.
database, okay, got it.
this is old business though, right?
Yep, yep.
So the other thing, Laurie, I don't even know if I should bring it up here, maybe I should have talked to you about it. Remember we had a little conversation about the payroll system and that system that we're getting complaints about and that you don't think some...
Timekeeping?
Huh?
The timekeeping, not payroll, but the timekeeping for payroll.
Yeah. Is that something that's gonna come up? Is that something that is being fixed by Megan? What's happening there?
Well, Megan has been working on it, and, well, actually, the whole year that I've been here, there's been issues.
It's been an issue, I know.
But I think that would be something that the new finance director could
Okay.
make a decision on.
Okay. Okay. So I just jot these things down, I'll bring them back up when the new finance does it. I just want to see us follow up on these things, because it seems like sometimes we can forget, because we get so busy, and things get pushed under the rug, and,
Yep.
good.
Anything else?
I have just a few things to bring up. One, are we going to discuss the job description for the finance director? That was distributed. I didn't see it on the agenda, but are we discussing that tonight, or are we discussing that?
I didn't print them for you, but,
I remember looking at it.
Do you want to put it off till the next meeting? So everyone has a chance to have a copy?
Yeah, let's put it off.
Or can we, we're doing these interviews on Monday, can we bring it to the meeting on Monday? That would be, print a copy on Monday, that'd be great to have the description right there.
Okay.
I mean, I read it and I thought it was fairly good, but I haven't read it the second time around.
Okay, so, all right, if that's a good idea. So I'm gonna hand these out, because I don't know who got the suggestions
Oh, from Steve?
from Steve.
Yeah. That's all right. Good enough for, yeah.
The ones that were online.
Yeah.
I did read it. I made a little confused by a few things on it.
Well, that's why we need a CPA helping us out. He also made, this is another suggestion, I'm not sure who received that.
These are from Steve.
Yeah.
Do you want us to review these now, or are we just taking these with us?
So if we do what Jay said, then we'll be able to
Okay.
utilize it then.
Yep.
And I'd like to thank Lori for sending the resumes out today. We have a potential grant writer in one of them, so that was exciting to read.
That would be
And
great.
did everybody see Laurie's, did you send it just to me, the ads that you were gonna put out?
oh,
Do
yeah.
we want to talk about
We
those?
can talk in administrative updates if you want.
Okay, I'll wait, I just didn't know.
I want to just publicly state that the reason that the resumes got out late was my fault. Lori said that she was going to take care of it, but she was expecting that Megan was going to send them out.
No, I didn't expect, I
Well,
asked her
you
to
knew
send
Megan
them out.
had them, so.
I originally
Basically,
asked
so
Megan.
I went to, when I talked to Megan yesterday, was it yesterday? I told her that Lori was taking care of it, she didn't have to worry about it. And I got in the middle of this and it all got gummed up because of me. So I take responsibility for that. But they were,
We'll let you slide, Jay.
well, it's my fault.
That's all right, you're new.
Okay. Only knew for a little while. All right.
Anything else, Phil?
I do, but I'll wait for the administrative update.
You're on.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking about these? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Aldrich Road, just a status update on the finance director hiring. We met with 5 candidates this week. And we are calling 2 back, as you know, for a second round of interviews that will be with the Board of Selectmen and Steve Biddle, the Human Resource Coordinator, and myself. And those are scheduled for Monday. So those are second round interviews. And then I just did wasn't sure where we were at with posting for the town administrator position, but I just went ahead and did up a draft of a posting, employment opportunity for that. So if we want to discuss what you would like staff to do to get this posted, or when you would like it posted, or and just take a few minutes to go over it. I did another one that's like a little bit shorter, because I thought maybe for the newspaper, but I don't know if we really need to put it in the newspaper. I don't think I would recommend that. Just, it costs a lot of money, and I feel like the the applicants are already well aware that municipal people actually, know that it's already out there and stuff. So we've been marketing it already, but.
Wasn't there 2? Wasn't there 1 you did?
Yeah, this was the shorter one. I don't
Did
think
you pass the shorter one out? No?
Do
You have a date on that one, don't you?
This is on the back of it.
Oh, I didn't flip it open. Oh, okay.
I didn't know what the board would like to see for a date in there, but I don't think we should procrastinate too long.
Is June 15th too early?
I think I was thinking the 18th maybe. I put the 15th
Well, that
at
one
first,
says the
and then-
18th, this says the 15th.
Yeah,
am
I know.
correct?
I changed it, and I must have forgot to change it on there, but I was thinking
Because
the
when I read
15th,
them
but
earlier-
then maybe
15th is a Monday, the 18th is
a
Thursday.
Thursday.
That gives people a little bit more
Yeah,
time during the
yeah.
week to, I think the 18th
So
would be
when
better.
you say that, that means that whatever we got in, we're gonna start reviewing. But
Yep.
does that
We'll
mean
start,
that you
like,
don't take any
scheduling.
more in after that date?
No.
No,
No.
no.
So it's just really saying we're gonna start reviewing them,
Yep.
right? So what's,
Well, I think
Reviewing and scheduling interviews, probably.
this gets posted, if it gets posted tomorrow, that's the 4th, that gives 2 weeks before we start reviewing,
if we went with the 18th,
if
is
we're
that?
on the 18th. That seems to make some sense, don't you think?
Yeah, I think we gotta go with the 18th.
I like the 18th too.
Do you find that aggressive, like the shop? Is that what it is? Do you feel it's enough of time?
We got we got almost all of the
Right away.
other ones within that time period.
Okay.
I do think we should have something more specific than progressive municipal management, something that would indicate some years of experience.
I thought that's.
It does say
when I missed
experience.
that.
Well, I think if we've learned anything, there's a need for someone with a substantial amount of 5 to 10 years worth of, somewhere in that range.
So we want to put that in there? 5 to
What
10?
did you just
I'm
say?
just
How many?
suggesting.
How many years you said?
5 to 10.
Oof. I don't know, Bill. I think that's a lot, but
Well, five isn't,
is that,
or 5 plus.
How about 3 to 5?
I like 3.
all I'm worried about when we say 5 plus is that there could be some people out there under that might not apply, and we might be narrowing our scope. You know what I mean? And there could be some smart people out there, and I just don't want to narrow. I don't know, is there that much out there that we can do that? I
Well,
mean,
I'm going to ask Bill, do you mean that years of municipal management experience or of town administrator experience?
Municipal management experience.
So municipal
it could
management,
be-
you could be an assistant.
Yeah, okay, I'm
Town-
thinking he's saying town administrator.
No,
You're-
just the municipal
In
aspect.
any field of, any piece of that.
Right.
Somebody that's looking for progression.
Someone who's looking for the step up that we offer. So we could say significant parentheses, 3 to 5 years, or 5 years?
I like 3 to 5. I think that would.
Yeah, I agree, 3 to 5.
I wouldn't put an end on it. I would just say 3 plus.
Yeah, don't put an end, right?
Right,
That works.
minimum of 3, or something like that.
We missed you, Mark.
A minimum of 3 years municipal management experience. That we, good at it?
We still could get the 5s and the 10s, you know, but I guess we should put some number down there, right? You know, because it is nice to have that.
And the
I was
thing
just scared to leave 10. When I heard 10, I got like, oh my God, that's gonna be, when somebody goes out, you know,
we're saying a municipal management experience too, so somebody might be a manager in a company somewhere, but it's not the same,
I got it.
so
Yeah, that isn't too bad.
minimum of
All
3.
right, so minimum 3 years of municipal management experience.
Yeah.
Preferred.
Preferred.
And we do say at the bottom, equivalent combinations of education and experience may be considered, so there's still a room for something else.
So have her put it out tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Do that tomorrow.
Sound good?
Thank you, Lori.
Where are we putting it out? Where do we go with this?
NMHA?
Does it reach out pretty far?
Yeah, NHMA and Southwest has offered to do it.
Maybe in public
County will
input.
help us. There's a few other boards.
Anything else?
What else does Lori have for us?
Employment ad. Oh, and I did send off the email to Rita at the USDA regarding the congressional spending for the fire station. Thank you. So we should hear back within a month on, you know, the confirmation that those funds can be obligated for the equipment for the new station.
How much value did we find?
200,000.
Oh, we found
Yeah,
200,000.
yeah.
Fantastic.
That's what we were talking about, the generator earlier. I would like to try to see if we can get that covered under there as well, so.
Perfect.
And that's all
You
I
guys are
have.
just talking about the reimbursement?
Yeah.
For all that stuff?
Yeah,
And we're
just-
gonna try to get to use it all up.
Yeah.
yeah, but first we have to, so I sent the email off, we just need the confirmation that that you've received these funds.
I see.
It's kind of like the whole, I think we did the same thing last year, but I don't know what happened, and so we're trying again. Yeah, but it will be just specific for equipment.
And then the process of getting the reimbursement would be to submit invoices or copies
With
of,
reimbursement requests.
yes, so we
Yep, yep,
paid invoices to, or whatever, so
Yep.
proof that we paid for it.
yep, and she said if all goes well, we should be able to start submitting those reimbursement requests like middle of July, so.
Okay.
But we first have to hear back from them about what I just submitted to confirm that. And that's all I have.
So I just have one other item. Last week, the board discussed moving forward with the town administrator position and moving forward to publicize it. And at that meeting, the board asked that I coordinate and act as the point person and
For the recruiting
for
part
the
of it.
recruiting part. And also, Mark and Jim acknowledged that we had 2 other candidates from 2025 that we considered and authorized me to reach out to them. So Friday morning, I approached the Human Resources Coordinator. I asked her to provide me with the job descriptions for the town administrator so that we could distribute that so we'd all know what the responsibilities are. And ancillary to that, I asked her for the DPW position, job description, because that's one that hasn't been updated in years, and I figured while she's doing one, she could do the second. I also asked her, and she agreed to provide the application information for the 2 people that we were confident of from 2025. That was on Friday. As of today, she's refused to provide that information, and I'm asking the board for a motion to require that the Human Resources Coordinator provide me with that information by noon tomorrow, and I'll then distribute that to the 4 of you.
Can I ask you what the reason of refusal was?
There's been no, well, there hasn't been one.
Should this be a non-public?
No, there's nothing, I'm not going after anyone's reputation, I'm just asking for board authorization to be able to get that information.
So you want to make a motion on the floor that we authorize the Human Resources,
We require
require her to give you, and what did you want?
the job description for the town administrator, the job description for the DPW director, and the 2 applications from 2025 of the candidates that were in the final round.
And I think you're talking about the job description for the DPW director that's on file from many years ago.
Yeah, not changing
You're not talking about a
anything.
new one, you're talking about one that's on file from many.
No, and that's just in recognition of the fact that that particular position has expanded tremendously over the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm not sure that we're all aware of what the original job description was and what it currently entails.
I don't know if there is a job description. I do remember having a conversation a couple months ago about the job description for him, and I believe
Wait a
it's
minute,
just
what job description are we talking about, Joe's?
Joe, DPW.
You don't think there is
I
one?
thought I remembered an email chain from a while back saying that there wasn't one, that it was all in the contract. I could be wrong.
Well, if we don't have a
I'm sure
job
Joe would have a
description,
copy of his job description.
he has a copy of his contract, but if we don't have a job description, then obviously it can't be provided, but certainly the town administrator one can. It was recently updated as of last year.
I can send you mine.
So there was nothing behind this as far as hiring Alex, and these documents are the town's documents, correct?
Yeah.
These are ours, right?
Yep.
So there should be no reason that these should be held back, correct?
Not that I'm aware of.
The only thing that I'm trying to think of why would be because of Alex we hired, but these are documents that the town should have access to, so you should be able to get these.
They were submitted to the town, so they're the
Right.
town's right to look at them.
Was Megan notified of the process that was discussed in the meeting? Maybe that was where the misunderstanding was. I don't know did anybody let her know? Was she aware of this decision that the board had made?
There was agreement to provide that information when I communicated it with her on Friday.
Okay, so, yeah, that's all. Maybe she was just looking
And-
for clarification if it was direction from the board.
And that's why I'm requesting this motion, so there is no confusion.
Thank
We're trying to make sure it's clear. I saw copies of the email exchange between Bill and Megan. I think maybe all of you did. And Bill asked for reminded her that she needed to give us specific information. She replied about some of the issues, some of the items, but she made no mention of the resumes of these folks in 2 emails. So it just seemed, it may have slipped her mind, but this is a way of reminding her that this is important. We're trying to move forward on this. We need to get it done.
No, I have a motion.
So I move that we authorize that we authorize a directive to the Human Resource Director to provide the job description for the town administrator, an explanation if there is no job description for the DPW director, or the job description, and the resumes of the candidates that were interviewed
Right. and
in the
cut.
previous town administrator search. That
The
cover everything?
the ones that made the cut.
The ones cut
We
to the
had
second
3.
interviews.
Right.
Right. So the ones that made the cuts to the second interview, except for Lori.
Correct.
the
Yes.
final interviews.
Do you want to make sure Sue got this so we don't have no confusion?
Can you read that back to me, Sue? Because I fumbled a little bit on that.
Yeah, let's see, so Jay Ward made a motion to instruct the HR coordinator to provide the job description for the town administrator and for the DPW director, and an explanation if there is no job description. And the applications and resumes of the 2 finalists from the town administrator search in 2025.
Perfect.
Yep.
I don't want to second this one.
Second?
So Lori, do you think she'll just have that for us tomorrow? Maybe she just has gotten behind, or?
She has been a little overloaded, but yeah, she should be able to get those to you tomorrow.
Even if we don't go through with this motion?
Yes.
Okay.
My only concern is that I want everyone to realize that we're pushing to get something done here in a quick, timely fashion, and this is the material we need to move forward. So it's an important thing. And I don't understand why these have got to be on file. They got to be on the server somewhere. Just
I definitely have my job description, which I can help her out and send. But
it'd be great.
So to answer Alan's, I wouldn't call it a question, your
My optimistic hope.
exactly. It feels to me, the way it sounds is that it can physically be pulled out in a good manner of time, that she would have time to do this. It's not like something where she needs days to research to get.
Right.
We're simply saying this is important for the town, and we're using our authority as select people to set the priority.
And the reason that we're doing it this way is so we can get these and we'll just put it in the minutes and we'll have it, right?
Yep. And I don't think there's any issue here. That shouldn't be any issue, and I don't know if it's an oversight or whatever, but it's a way of being as firm as possible, and we're speaking as 5
I
people,
think
not
it might
just
have just
one.
been a miscommunication. She just wanted to make sure that it was from the discretion of the board.
Well, let's make it clear that it's official.
Whatever way we have to do to
Still
get it,
need a
we have
second.
to do it.
I second it.
Bill seconded it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to say no.
Who seconded?
Bill Hutler.
You didn't have anything else, did you? Okay.
The only other thing is that, do we need to make a formal statement that Bill is sort of heading up the recruiting here? Do we need to say that as a board? So that
Well, I
there's-
think that's where the miscommunication came from.
Exactly,
Because
so-
normally I would have been at that meeting and I would have asked Megan to do that, but there was no communication. So I think that's just, it was a
Okay.
communication error.
Because there are chains of command, and maybe this is what is the problem here. So let's state as a board that one of Bill's been tasked with heading up the recruiting and gathering of names and for the TA
Well, if we're gonna
position.
go that far, we should make it public of where everybody's in charge of and how we're doing this process of Laurie leaving. If we're gonna go, and we should talk about that, what your duty, you're gonna oversee the town hall, Jay, and Mark's who he's gonna see, and we put it on record then. And so there's no confusion in the future. If we're finding confusion here of that meeting, because a lot of this stuff was done in that meeting that wasn't out there.
Right.
And, and she didn't know that he was doing the recruiting part, am I correct?
I didn't know.
Okay. I think it's a good point, Jay. I think we need to iron these things out tonight.
Let's make it clear, the communication clear, that that's how we're dividing the responsibilities up on the board, and therefore we'll set that up now. Do we state that for the minutes, and do you want to state it the way, because you're,
Sure. I'll state that part of it, and then you can go with the, do we make a motion that we're gonna put Bill in charge of the recruiting of the
I
town
don't know if we need to
administrator?
make a motion. I
Okay,
think it
consensus.
should go in the minutes that that's what we're doing. Does everybody agree? I don't think
So
it's-
everything can just go in the minutes, so.
Yeah.
So what the Board of Selectmen has decided, Sue, is that we're gonna divide, Select Board and to department heads, which I will be overseeing the police department and the public works department. Alan will be overseeing the grant with Mike Kowalski for the rail trail, right? Bill, you are going to assist Jay, but Jay's going to oversee the town hall, right?
And Bill is also involved heavily in the recruiting process.
And that's right, Bill's doing the recruiting process of that. You're going to oversee town hall, and Mark, you're going to do the fire department and the recycling center, and did we say the rec too?
And the rec department.
And the rec. And
With
that,
some
all that means, so everybody understands, is that we're trying to, for the department heads in the town, that they're not going to be confused with 5 selectmen approaching each one. They actually have a center point to go to. So that means if there's a situation with the fire department, they're going to come to me because I'm that guy, and then I'm going to relay it to the select board. All we're trying to do is simplify having 5 selectmen and not have confusion in the town hall. So Jay's going to be the one that's going to work with Laurie through this process, and we're just trying to make it so there's less confusion. And hopefully this works. It has worked for a year with the 3 of us because we did this before, and it seemed to work perfectly fine. So I think that's the main reason why we're doing this. So people ain't hearing from 5 different selectmen. Okay?
And I'm here for a whole nother month, so feel free to use me while you have me.
Lori, I clearly understand that. But I also clearly understand that you will be leaving, right? So here's my argument on this point, is that instead of us just sitting back and doing nothing right now and waiting till you leave, and then we have to do something because we have nobody there, because basically if you look at a town, we have no town administrator. Who takes over? The select board, right? So we could have a period of 2 months, 3 months of having no town administrator. And so all we're asking is to all get together and allow the select board to learn more of what they're up against coming after you leave. So that's all I think that we're trying to get across. I don't think anybody's trying to step in and take over, but we have to get a feel of what's coming to us, what's going to come when we're running this town, because we're really concentrating on not saving the town money by not bringing somebody in to run it, because last time we spent a lot of money, and with 5 select board, I feel that the taxpayers would appreciate that the select board step up in this spot and try to run the town and save the town money. So when you say that, Laurie, I feel that you're not understanding. I'm not trying to
No, I do. I just feel like the communication, that's where the communication might get a little wishy-washy if I'm not included in that, that transformation.
You would be included in anything, while you're here working, anything that I want to do in town hall, I'll go through you.
Yeah.
If we need to talk about getting something or whatever, then that's what we'll do. And that's, and if it's not working, I expect you to tell me it's not working. So that's what we'll do.
And I don't know if anyone has said this, but something we need from you, Lori, is a list of all the projects you have going on.
I'm working on the list. It's gonna, over the next month, you'll have quite the list.
Good. And Alan will need to talk to you about where we are with the rail trail committee and, with the grant and all that stuff too. So he'll be talking to you about that. We thought he and Mike Kowalczyk would work together with you at some point on that, but that's just, so it won't be only me who's involved with you.
I'd like to go back to the list, what you just said. I don't understand, when we asked about, all I was mentioning is that you're involved in a lot of projects, right, Laurie? And you're leaving, okay? So these projects that you have all lined up that you're involved in, all I think the Board of Selectmen meant by that is what projects you have going and which projects could we get closure to, so when the new town administrator comes in, your project that you started in the beginning is completed. So what I'm getting from you is that there's no way we're completing any of your projects, right? Those ain't gonna happen.
Probably not in the next month.
Okay.
But I'll have a list of ongoing projects, which Jay will learn of as we go through the next couple weeks,
Yeah.
and it'll be that list. And then,
Yeah, so I'll check in periodically and, you know, probably in person if I can, and we'll talk about it.
okay.
Public input. Sir, did you have something you wanted to bring up?
I just figure out down here, so I just figure I'll stop in and instead of watching it on YouTube.
Do you normally watch it on YouTube?
Yeah, every Wednesday, whenever they have selectmen board meeting, and so.
Well, I wish there was more people in town like you. I wish the whole town would watch, so they see.
You know, when you get 2 or 3 people watching.
Do you want to bring up what was discussed in the parking lot? So you get resolution, because you do have people that,
What part of
right out here when we were coming in.
Oh, well, there was a question with the neighborhood up on Cracksbury Lane about that house that sits back there with the town, well, the guy was gonna give it to the town. And what Bill told us that we're not doing that anymore, so. Because our concern was the amount of traffic that would bring extra up in that neighborhood. And if they were gonna do something like that, make it more like a rail trail so we can get up on into the park area.
Just so you understand, the individual has proposed 2 things to us. One is that he wants to give that property to the town for recreational use when he dies.
I remember seeing that in the meeting.
When he dies. But he also offered us the chance to lease that house, and in other words, pay him for the house, and then he would turn around and pay us his taxes out of that money. And he said that he would tear the house down if we didn't do it. We decided not to lease the house from him. That we don't want the town to be landlords and so on. So we don't know what's going to happen. It's his right to do whatever he wants to do with his property, and we'll see what happens there. But we are still interested in having him deed the property to the town as a recreational property, which would connect to the Mount Caesar trails and so on, and we think that would be a benefit to the town.
Yeah, because up in that neighborhood, there's only one access up in the park right now. It used to be 2, and then there used to be like a little cabin sit back in the woods where you can go up that road. And somebody basically moved in that little cabin. They didn't want people walking up through their yard.
That's right.
They moved the trail down further to where it almost comes to the 2 different roads, Cracksbury and Pine Road, whatever it is, where they come together. And that's what the other trail is going up.
So-
There's no parking space anymore.
You used to use that trail.
Yeah, I used to use it all the time.
I used to use it too, and then he shut it off.
Yeah, you shut it off, and then they moved it down for,
Yeah.
Right. So,
I was really annoyed at
that was
that.
an agreement with the 2 landowners, they divided the property up, and they made a trail go right up. If you look at, you go up in that area right now, there's a bunch of trails, even that halfway cut point, I don't know what they call it, but goes straight through all the housing, we have this whole park in there. They got roads and stuff, they go, trails go into that area.
yeah, he's built an extensive trail network on his property, but that's all for his personal use. So basically, we'll have to see what happens with the deeding of it all. We haven't had a formal agreement for that yet, but we're working on that, and the Conservation Commission is involved in this as well, so.
Well, it'd be nice if something does come out of it, that we all get notices or something saying that this is gonna happen. Right now, everybody's up there going, when you see on YouTube, that you guys had, well, between the planning board and select board meetings, that you guys discussed, but nobody ever said a word to us about how we feel.
Yeah, at this point, it was simply an offer from a property owner to the town, and we in our minutes, we say that we declined that offer, and that's where it stands right now. The other part is under negotiation still. It's not set. He hasn't changed his will yet. So,
There's another thing I find, you know, when you put these meetings out on the town website, there's no discussion on what you guys basically going to talk about until you go live on Facebook. Then it gives you a breakdown what you're going to talk about during the meeting. There's nothing forward in advance. I know we talk about, you guys talk about communication with the town all the time, but if somebody sees something they want to come down to a meeting for, they don't, there's nothing out there saying what you guys are going to talk about.
There actually is. There is. If you look up agendas and minutes,
I've done that.
then
Until after it's done.
all of our board meetings, zoning, planning, and select board, the agendas are always posted online prior to the meeting, so you at least have the opportunity to see what the subjects are. And with the case of zoning and planning, you get to see.
That's under agenda?
I think what
That's
he's
the
saying
agenda.
is that discussion that you had in that meeting, it wasn't on the agenda. It wasn't an agenda
Right.
topic.
you're right. There are times in which topics come up as part of old business or part of public input or other things that we end up discussing that aren't on the agenda. And a fuller agenda is in the packet, if the packet is up, but that doesn't go up till the day before or the day of. So it is a problem in the sense that the town staff is working to provide our agenda right up to the last minute, and the bare bones of the agenda are out there in a couple days ahead of time, but there may be a few topics that surface on Monday that we decide we want to include in the agenda on Wednesday, and we do our best to get it out there, at least in the packet, but it's not a perfect process, especially now we're meeting every 2
You
weeks.
always
So
wanted the agenda out and not, is that one of the reasons that you didn't want to add things to the agenda? Like, is that like one of the reasons?
Transparency.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that meeting that you guys discussed, the Partridge Berry was posted, but there was no agenda for
there's
it.
no agenda for that, right? And basically what happened there was that it was a timely thing that the property owner said, I need a decision right now. So we had to meet about it. And the meeting was already posted. And we thought, well, we'll just include that in the meeting. The meeting was posted for something else. And we decided to include that as a topic because it was it was time sensitive.
But with planning and zoning, they don't have that option. So if you go online a week or so ahead of time, or 3 days, you'll be able to see the full packet for planning and zoning, because they can't bring anything in after the deadline. We're as Jay mentioned, the select board, you could bring up something tonight that's not on the agenda, and we end up discussing it.
Like this?
Yeah. I mean,
An example.
and it's a legitimate question. It's what we need public input for citizens like you to come in and ask us questions. That's why we're grateful you're here.
Well, I had two more outside that we were going to bring it up today, so they're the one that told me about it. They were going to come up and see it about Roxbury Lane.
I come to a lot of meetings and there's not often too many people here, so.
I watch it online, so.
Go ahead, Mark.
So you guys are incredibly busy. I understand that. I'm going to bring up two things with Wilson Pond. First is the pond excavation is off to a really good start this year. I know I've offered in the past a number of years for any member of the board to come out and take a ride on the boat, and it'd be great if, with the exception of Jerry, who can run the boat many times, you can pair up and maybe just find a half hour every day to take a little spin. Entertain that. I think it's important. And if not, I'll start counting you guys since I have all your numbers. The other thing is, over the years, you've heard me bring up the New Hampshire Lake Smart program. In fact, we have a session coming up Friday, June 12th. I have 5 properties lined up, and I would like the town of Swanzey to be the 6th, to look at your 3 properties in particular. The boat launch area, the access on Water's Edge, and the access on Wilson Pond Road. And that one in particular is a problematic property, but I think what's important, and I see the opportunity here, is I'm actually doing that property.
Which one is next to where, which, is one of them next to where Tom Buford used to live?
I don't know what Tom used to live.
It's got to be one of them.
The one on-
Delurba. It was Buford, I thought, and then Delurba.
Del Urba's property.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to do that extra segment there. It's going to kind of be viewed as his property anyway, but I think getting an assessment of that property could be helpful. So that's my proposal, is have the town be the 6th one. They only come out to do at least 4, no more than 6. And I think I can convince them to do those 3 town properties as a single entity.
You want to explain exactly what they'll do when they do this, Mark?
Well, I have in the past, but certainly what the New Hampshire Lakes do, they come out and they look for primarily 4 things. The runoff of water from roofs. There's no buildings involved here. From driveways, the only place there's really a driveway is the public boat launch, if it is public. They look at septics. There's no septic issues here. And they look at general runoff of the property itself into the pond. And just to give you some statistics, we're looking at a total of 73 properties. These are, most of them are actually on the pond. There are some that are adjoining, bordering the stream coming into the pond that have been assessed. So out of those 73, we've approached 46 people, homeowners already. So that's 63%. Of that 46 that we've approached, 76% have agreed to have their properties assessed, or most of them have had their properties assessed. Those are very high percentages. In fact, those percentages right there gets us what they call Lake Smart community status with this program, because we have a very high involvement figure here. Of the 76 have been assessed, 17% are certified as Lake Smart properties, and I expect that to go up after June 12th. I'm thinking there's probably at least 2 properties that will get certification. I also think the town can get certification. And I think it's important, because what this does is this level of involvement can help with any kind of grants that we're getting for the watershed management program that we're hoping to get some make some headway on this year, and then thereafter as well. So that's the whole reason why we've been doing this. But for us to get to this level of involvement within 3 years, this is the 4th year, is pretty incredible to New Hampshire Lakes. They really look up at this effort. So.
Is this something that you guys motivate, that you bring these people in, or is this something they do at all bodies of water?
It's something that is available for all bodies of water.
So Swansea Lake do it?
Lake is involved with New Hampshire.
And so you have certified people that have, what are they called? Something smart, what?
Lake Smart.
Lake
Means
Smart?
Yeah, it means that your property is.
What happens if you're not lake, if they come down and you're not Lake Smart?
It's non-regulatory, voluntary.
They make suggestions.
At the end of the
And the
assessment,
more Lake Smart people you have around, it benefits you in what way?
it benefits because it shows the community that cares about the body of water that they live around. And that is a big statement when you're going for grants.
Nobody really knew this was things. Maybe you know when you live near a lake, that's how you know, right?
So what's the reasoning for the 24 or so % that do not participate? What's their rationale?
There's quite a few we have not approached. There, I guess 37% of the people we just haven't approached. They don't show up at events, whatever. And we just haven't got to the point where we go and knock on doors. Out of the ones that have agreed out of the ones that we've approached, 30, I think it's 33 have agreed to have their properties assessed to date. Only 3 properties, which translates to actually 2 owners, have said no. And there's 8 that are in limbo. They haven't really given us a formal response, yes or no.
Are you certified?
And the town is one of them.
Are you certified?
Am I certified? I am certified.
And Jimmy, I am too.
Yeah.
You are?
I was-
Kathy, are you?
I'm done.
Are you gonna?
I'm not done.
Are you gonna do it?
Probably not, because I've gone online and checked and we have looked all over the guidelines, so I would qualify, but.
Do you know the percentage of your lake? That's interesting.
So I did not get certified initially. I actually did some of the improvements that they asked for, and we got certification.
And we were in the same situation. We lost a tree into the water, and once the tree was cleaned up, they wanted us to revegetate that area before they would certify us, and we did, and they certified us.
And some people, like, there's an example out there where somebody's concern is the water coming off the driveway. All they need to do is dig out 6 inches deep, put gravel at the end of their driveway, so the water coming
How
off
do
the
you do the
driveway.
runoff for your roof?
Well, hopefully you have, stones along your house.
Drain pipes going into a dry well?
Gutters and, leave the gutters.
Or French drain of some sort, of something like that.
It's crazy. I never knew that. It's pretty.
And some of the properties around Wilson Pond have, without mitigation, have gushers of water coming
I can
down.
imagine.
And one of my neighbors doesn't want to do Lake Smart because he's got a pipe from the town that pulls water off the street into his property, and there's nothing you can do about that.
Maybe some people are scared that they're gonna open the can of worms on them and it's gonna cost them money. That's what it sounds to me. Like if you came knocking on my door and I lived in the lake and said, I want your house to be such, I'd say, what are you kidding me? You're gonna cost me, you're gonna make me put drains in and stuff, right? That's what I'm saying, that's what they're thinking.
It doesn't cost you.
But it's too bad you couldn't explain it better to the people, because
We've explained it very well to these people, and some of them just don't want anybody to look at their property because it's
Right.
their property and they have a
yeah,
right.
you can see, it's a tough
Others.
thing.
But it's helpful for all of us to manage the runoff into that pond if we want to keep the pond swimmable and the fish thrive and all
I
that.
agree.
So,
I know you're not doing it for this reason, but if you had a high percentage of people that were lake smart, I think it would increase your property values.
I'm not sure to how much, but I would hope that would be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be nice. I mean, we're about 11% of the total property. We're 17% certified of the ones who can assess. But my goal is to get to 15% certification around the pond.
Well, thank you for doing that.
So anyway, I would hope that.
How do we meet the expectation that you're requesting?
Just have a motion to approve Lake Smart of the 3 properties at the town owned around the pond. And if that passes, I would just need a phone number and an email, which is probably going to be the town administrators. And I will do everything else.
nobody has
We
to
own
be there.
property around the lake?
Oh, yeah, you own the boat launch, the town owns the boat launch, and
Put it in a building, you don't look at that, do you? The boat
Okay.
launch, you look at the boat launch?
It should be looked at. Why not?
so what they would send us, the town, what they would send us is recommendations as to how to revegetate it or to provide less runoff that might contaminate the lake, whatever. And we don't have to do anything, but those are the recommendations. That's all we get. We get recommendations. They look at it, they say, well, you know, you could do better with this property if you did this. And for some of the ancillary access properties, the one on Water's Edge and one on Wilson Pond Road, those two, they're more like yards of people's yards, and so they're more than the boat launch. The boat launch might be difficult to
The
work
one
with.
where we have problems with, where we can't get down through, and the president's got all this stuff there?
I'm doing that person's property,
I believe so.
yes.
It'll be interesting to see what happens when, and at some point, Mark will tell you how he got the guy to agree for Lakesmart. But at any rate, it'll be interesting to see what comes of it, because again, he doesn't have to do anything that's recommended. But it would be nice to know what the recommendations are.
They'll identify invasive species just as, it's an educational process, that's really what it is. You know, people are not.
They don't require you to remove the non-native species, but they do identify them and give you feedback.
What do you anticipate for feedback for the Wilson Pond Road and Water's Edge? Those are basically just straight shots of grass.
From my experience, because I've, you know, walked with them doing all the properties, some I stand back on if the property owner is there, but a lot of people feel comfortable with me being there if they're unable to make it, right? They might have questions, and I can ask those questions and convey the answers back to the homeowner. Sorry about the voice. What I anticipate on Water's Edge, you know, that property has a purpose. I think that property is going to be fine, right? There is probably direct runoff. There's not a very big window of property that actually meets the road of the town property.
Pretty narrow.
Because there's another property in front of it. There's a right-of-way there.
Is that the one next to the Newtons?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so
And that property that's owned by the person across the street, that person is certified. Just so you know. I don't think there'll be an issue there. I don't know about the boat launch, in all honesty.
What about the other one, the one next to Delurba?
That one, I think that's going to be a combination of things. I think there's probably a lot of standing water on that property, which is not a good thing. Just all the toys that are out there, I think it'll be interesting to see what comes up.
So that one, I know the one between Kathy and Jim and Kathy, that one had some boating material, for lack of a better word, a few years ago, and it looked like that all got cleaned up.
Yeah, and there might be, I don't know if there's any boats there now, I haven't really paid attention, but certainly, if there is, you know, and I guess town allows people to store their canoes and kayaks there or whatever, so be it. Might just get recommended to put a sign up about, you know, not leaving it where there could be standing water in them. I think that probably will be fine.
and we don't know about the boat launch. That could be, I don't know what you can do. Maybe they do.
They'll scratch their heads on a couple of them, but I think it's worth the sign, in my opinion.
So I make a motion that we accept Lakesmart onto the 3 town properties around Wilson Pond Road, and look forward to receiving their recommendations.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That was easy. Thanks, Mark.
It was years in the making.
Manny.
Thank you, Mark.
One non-public I have, yep.
I just have one
I saw some.
quick thing that I forgot. I had an opportunity to talk with Ann Heffernan today regarding the governance committee, and she's moving forward with the project that she mentioned to us before. She'll come back to us and give us more information on when she has that scheduled. She's targeting a Saturday, and I told her, don't worry, there's always going to be people that can make it, and there's always going to be people that can't, no matter which Saturday she picks. They're also looking at the committee morphing more into a communication type of committee, and she's prepared a couple of forms for groups that want publicity to fill out, so that there's no question about what it is that they're doing. For example, the Water and Sewer Committee, she's going to recommend that the committee meet with the Water and Sewer Committee and gain a sense of what they need in order to publicize what's going on there. And so in essence, it seems that her expectation is it'll become somewhat more of a communication entity and not driven by any particular motive. Whatever they promote will be non-biased. They won't be coming in with any opinion. It'll just be putting the information out there. She's also going to discuss with Kevin, helping to assist to get people to sign up for the E911 calls, if that's what they're called. I'm not exactly sure, but the emergency calls. And then also to get people to sign up for the alerts that come out from town. I told her that with Lebanon, I get at least one a day, if not multiples a day. And now with Keene, I'm getting up to 4 or 5 a day because they publicize every single committee meeting they have. And so she's going to look into that to see if we can do the same thing for Swanzey. She also will meet with Christine to talk about how that can be made more effective for people on the website when the new website rolls out. So just wanted to let you know that they're moving forward, and they're meeting this Friday and going to continue. So it's great news. What's that?
All right, we're going to go into non-public now.